tomorrow. Kumusta Appleberries? Welcome to episode 3 of In Real Life, Real Talk on Mental Health. This is Coach Ven and I am an Appleberry Mental Health Coach. Napanood niyo na ba yung K-drama sa Netflix na Tomorrow? Yan kasi yung pag-uusapan natin in this video. Together with the other mental health coaches, we will react to intriguing scenes and provide our professional insights. Kung napanood mo na, you can keep watching this. If you haven't, baka mas mabuting skip mo muna tong video na to and then balikan mo na lang. However, we do want to put up a trigger warning, not just for this video, but for the series as well. It mainly tackles suicide, so if topics like this make you feel vulnerable, you may skip this video or you may proceed cautiously. If you or anyone that you know suffers from suicidal thoughts and other mental health problems, you may reach out to Appleberry Mental Health Support and other hotlines provided in the description. So, are you ready? Mental Health Coaches React to Tomorrow episodes 1 and 2 starts now.
Hi everyone, this is Coach Kyra and we will go to episode 2 of the ongoing Korean drama Tomorrow. So there, we find out about Unbi's backstory. Ito yung pinaka-frustrating part of the episode. Kasi it showed how Unbi was bullied severely. Sinisipaan siya, tinatapunan siya ng gamit, na milk drink. She was cursed at. And we could see how it became traumatizing for her to hear the clicking of the pen. Kasi sabi ni Hyewon, natuwa siya tuwing i-click niya lang yung ballpen. And this all started because Hyewon misunderstood Unbi laughing. She wasn't even laughing at her. Unbi was just minding her own business. But as frustrating as it is to watch the bullying scenes, this unfortunately has been experienced by many victims of bullying, and that the victims would be traumatized by the bullying. And as we saw Unbi's memories, Junwon was frustrated for being unable to help Unbi. He had to control himself since Koryeon and him would have been trapped inside her memories if they were to be seen or touched. And it's great that Junwon wanted to help out. He didn't want to be a bystander or watching those horrid things done to Unbi. Not a lot of people would have done such, in all honesty. Kasi takot din kasi ibang tao na mapahamak sila. Baka sila rin yung masaktan. So, which brings us to the latter part of Unbi's memories. Her friend wanted to help her, even suggesting to tell the teachers of the bullying. But unfortunately, Hyewon's troop came in and her friend was targeted instead. Though Unbi was hesitant for a while, she eventually stopped Hyewon in bringing her friend along. For her, pinili niya na siya yung masasaktan kaysa yung iba. And that was very selfless of her. She didn't want her friend to be picked on the way she had been. She didn't want her friend to go through that horror as well. So, no doubt, Unbi has a kind and selfless heart. Although I'm very curious after that incident, if they're still friends, because I hope so. I'm not sure if Unbi, tried to push her away kasi baka mapahamak nga siya. But even if that happened, I hope that her friend still stayed by her side. I want to assume that they were still friends because, social support is very important and also helpful for a person going through difficult times. And the fact that Unbi lived longer, gusto ko i-assume na nandun yung kaibigan niya for her for so long. Anyway, though it's painful for Unbi, she was selfless and really tried to stay strong. I also want to commend her friend though, assuming that she stayed by her side. We also have to be grateful for those people who are there for us, especially when we need, social support the most. And I don't mean yung, salita lang nagsinasabi na nandyan sila pero hindi pala. Yung talagang nandyan para sa'yo, supporting you whenever and whatever they could. So, if you're like Unbi now, or you went through something similar to what happened to her, I want to thank you for trying your best to stay strong. I know that it's very difficult and possibly even traumatizing, but things will get better. You may not feel it now, or you might not think that it's possible, but it will. Thank you for being here. And if you're like Unbi's friend, I want to thank you as well. Thank you for being there for your friend or family member. And I'm also grateful that you're there for them. So we see here in this restroom scene that Unbi possibly had a breakdown, as seen that she was breathing heavily, leaving the cubicle. So here she meets Hyewon, wherein Hyewon finally remembers Unbi. And when Unbi said that it might have been a moment for Hyewon, but for her, her trauma was a lifetime, that is true. When hurtful things are done or said to us, not necessarily about bullying, but even just arguments with family or friends, those who did or said hurtful things to us, it's common for them to not remember such, or that they don't think much about it. But for us who are done or told hurtful words or hurtful things, we constantly remember it, and at times they're quite difficult to forget about. Parang naka-engrave siya sa utak mo na yung mga sinabi or yung mga ginawa nila. So in this case, Hyewon thought lightly of what she did, and that she didn't even have any remorse or guilt for what she's done, whereas Unbi has been suffering for years because of the bullying done to her. And I'd say that this scene was also frustrating to watch kasi hindi talaga nagbago ugali ni Hyewon after so many years. Ang rotten pa rin ng pag-iisip niya, and she still feels like she's higher and far greater than Unbi. Kudos to the actress portraying Hyewon. Her acting was so effective that we're mad at her or even hate her. Of course, it's just acting, okay? So please don't send hate to the actress. She's doing well as an actress. Okay. Anyway, all throughout them meeting in this restroom, Unbi is seen to be panicking and shaking at the sight of Hyewon, since she is the bully and the reason for her trauma.
We'd also love to hear what you think. So comment your feedback and questions below and we'll get right back to you.
Okay, in this next scene, Hyewon appears after Unbi had her call with her boss. Okay, first of all, nainis din ako sa boss ni Unbi because she was against interviewing Hyewon in the beginning, but her boss said no. She's the best writer and such. And now she didn't want to air the interview, stating that Hyewon tormented her in school. She didn't explain in detail, but her boss assumed that they fought just a bit at school, and he said, stop blaming others for everything and think about why things happened the way they did. Very triggering, right? Unang mali ng boss. Nag-assume siya na yung mga sinabi ni Unbi na she was tormented at school, na it was just a simple fight or argument. Second, the hurtful words he said, the stop blaming others for everything and think about why things happened the way they did. So, what can you possibly reason out with the bullying? Why is the bullying supposed to be done? She's weak, she's an easy target to be picked on. Those are not reasons why bullying is supposed to happen. Bullying is never supposed to happen. And when the boss said this, he was invalidating Unbi's feelings and possibly thought that she was the problem, which is wrong. Again, this goes back to the reason na wala naman alam yung boss. Nag-assume lang siya. So, one shouldn't assume, don't invalidate your feelings, and don't instantly think that you know better. because you don't know what they went through. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon down below to get notified every time we have a new video. So after the phone call, Hyeon appears and asserts dominance yet again over Eunbi. And she also said, he, the boss, must have asked if you were the problem, like our teacher. So, sinabi nga ni Eunbi sa teacher niya tungkol sa bullying. Pero parang siya pa yung pinagalitan. Parang siya pa yung may kasalanan kaya siya nabully. And this goes back to my previous discussion about what Eunbi's boss told her. There is no reason why bullying should happen. Bullying should never be done. The teacher and boss were focusing on the wrong thing. They weren't even focusing on the actual problem, which was the bullying. But unfortunately, this does happen. Like if you do tell someone about your trauma, they seem to shift to you being the problem, but not actually seeing or focusing on, the actual problem. And I believe that this is what a lot of people need to change. Please actually listen to the person and don't invalidate their experiences or feelings. So after knowing, Eunbi's past, Hyeon's webtoon is so ironic considering what she did in the past. Of course, our past doesn't define us, but we do need to learn and grow from it. She did horrid things to Eunbi and to whoever else she might have bullied. And when she met Eunbi again, instead of apologizing, she was still belittling her. So it didn't seem like she grew or improved herself. She was still rotten as she was in the past. If you or someone you know need to talk to a mental health professional for free, we are still accepting members for a self-care program. Just email us at membersupport@appleberry.me for an invite. See you there!
That's our episode for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you didn't, do let us know as well. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you next Friday for another episode of In Real Life Real Talk on Mental Health. Take care!